Thank you. Thanks everyone for coming to tonight's show. This is Julia Anderson with Real Talk. Tonight's discussion is the fifth part of an 8-part series about the open secret of spousal abuse in the lesbian and gay community. Sitting in our chair tonight is Dr. Alexandra Porter. Welcome to our show, Dr. Porter.
Thank you for inviting me to the show.
Tell us a little about yourself.
I have a master's degree in psychology with an emphasis in marriage and family counseling. My specialty is the lesbian and gay community.
The series will give an overview of what is domestic violence, the first signs of abuse, two couples speaking on their lives being in an abusive relationship, signs of abuse for friends and family, the law, resources to get help, and a wrap-up of the series. Okay, let's get started. What are the signs that friends and family should look for in an abusive relationship?
The first thing people need to realize is that there are stages to abuse. It might start with verbal abuse or a playful whoosh. It rarely starts with physical violence. It is a progression.
Okay, I understand that. So what are the early signs of abuse?
A few of the early signs are isolation. Not wanting to go out or not wanting to hang out with your friends and family.
What else?
Monitoring their calls, texts, or emails.
But Doc, when people get into relationships, they tend to spend a lot of time together, right?
Certainly, we've all gone through that. The difference is being unable to return calls, emails, or texts. Missing friends and family's birthdays and other special events. Also, they can never go out without the other person being there. Or having to constantly check in or report what they are doing, who else is there, and what is happening.
Other signs friends and family should look for, Dr. Porter?
And if or when they finally do come around you, things like wearing sunglasses indoors or wearing long sleeves when it is hot can be another sign. When you ask them what is going on, they make excuses like, "Oh, I'm just clumsy," or "It was an accident." When prior to this relationship, he or she was never clumsy or got into accidents.
Please, Doc, give more signs we should look for.
Always making sure that his or her opinion matters more than anyone else's. An outgoing, confident person suddenly has no opinions or her thoughts change to reflect that of their partners.
But Doc, we all know people who begging to morph into one person after a while. How can we tell the difference?
These signs aren't in a vacuum. It's not just one thing. It's a combination of everything. The isolation, the missed social events, the depression or low self-esteem, and the change in appearance or actions. When all those things are together, that is when a closer look needs to occur.
Are you talking about an intervention?
Yes, but that isn't what it should be called. Because that term has been bantered around and has a negative connotation, most people will get defensive when they hear it.
Give us an example of how it should be presented to the person in an abusive relationship.
It should be couched in terms of, "We're concerned about you and we miss you."
Okay, gotcha.
Don't even mention the other person. Focus on your friend or family member and the changes that you see in them. Again, if you mention the other person, the abused will become defensive.
Anything else, Dr. Porter?
Let your friend or family member know they can call you anytime, day or night, and you will either come get them or let them stay with you for as long as they need to. And be ready with answers to all of their objections.
Awesome, Doc. I really am exhausted. Thank you, Dr. Porter, for giving friends and family members signs to look for if they think someone is in an abusive relationship.
My pleasure, Julia. Thank you for having me.
I want to thank you all for coming to the show. Please come back for the 6th part of this 8-part series on domestic violence in the lesbian and gay community. This is Julia Anderson with Real Talk. Bye-bye.